Okay, and now I have to admit, I've just tested this code because I tend to do mistakes when I'm typing and introducing some of the functions. And I did make two mistakes. So let's go back to our function post to session. Let's have a look at the first for each loop. We've got out, we put in the key and value into out array. This should not be done as equal and this arrow just equal, and the same mistake here in the second for each loop, sorry, third for each loop, we have to make it that is just assigning the value. It's not really distributing the key between the value, assigning the key to the value to the key. So once we've done these changes, we can move to the next step. So let's open our step 2 function, and what we're going to do here, just to see how it works, actually, all these functions, I mean the last function we've created and creating all these arrays, sessions. Let's start with PHP, and we're going to echo the new function, which we'll create in just a second, which will be called print sessions. So we're going to echo all these sessions. Now if we go back to our functions.php, and after our last function, let's create a new one, function called print sessions. And what this function will do is first we will check if session is set. So if is set session, then we'll create for each loop, which will take session as key equals value. And we will simply echo each of these as key and the key in the brackets, in the curly braces. Then we'll take value and the value in the curly braces. Then at the end BR, so that we can go to the next line and display another session. So now that we've created the session, if we go back to our browser, now if we fill in the information, so let's say Sebastian Zelinsky age, okay, I'm just going to put something here, doesn't matter really, gender, and then some country, let's say Denmark, and click next, and there we go. Fair enough, all our sessions have been displayed. Now this last session is an array because it's our step, and step is an array, because if we go back, as you may remember, we've created the step key, then we created another key which is creating the multi-dimensional array, and then we've assigned the value. So it's not just the key and the value assigned to it, it's array key, another array key, and then the value. So that's why it's just displaying the name array. We would have to loop through this again to get the values from this array. Now everything as I've selected and have typed into the fields, Sebastian Zelinsky, age 39, M for male, and country ID 65. So as you can see, our post has been converted into sessions, and these sessions are now stored in the session variables. If we go to the table, you can see we don't store anything in our server yet. Nothing has been added to the database. It's purely session variables that we have here. Now if I go back, have a look at this. All these values are stored inside of our fields, and this is because we're using our sticky text function, which we've created earlier. If we go to our function sticky text, you remember we've used else if it's post, then return post, / is post, and else if it's set session with this specific parameter, simply return this session. So this is what's happening here. Obviously we can move back and forward, and the session will store all this information inside of the field. This is what it's going to allow us to modify all this information later on. So let's move to the next video.